McConnell gives Democrats an easy out on the debt ceiling. Russia appears poised to invade Ukraine as Putin talks to President Pop Pop. And Jussie Smollett is found guilty of staging a hate crime. All this and more tonight on Embers of Liberty.
Welcome to Embers of Liberty.
Country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend our great nation. Terrorist attacks have shaken the foundations of our basic buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the council of the shield, we must guard against the accusation of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically opposed to secret society.
We, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we had in
We
the
decided long
past,
ago
to do whatever needs to be
excessive and
done
unwarranted
to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom.
far outweigh the dangers
In this
that
present
society
crisis,
justify it.
government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Welcome back to Embers of Liberty, where we don't pay for staged hate crimes with checks.
No.
It's a bad idea.
Yes.
Well, no Cody tonight.
No Cody. But he told us that. We knew
Yeah.
that was... Well, we forgot, and then we remembered after he told us.
Yep. So, schedule update, and we'll go through this again at the end of the night. Next week's show will not be on Saturday. It will be on Friday.
It'll be the last one of the
And
year.
it will be the final podcast of the year. So,
And that's the one where we will draw names for
Yes.
the cup and the pig.
well, we will come up with the detailed rules of the contest tonight.
Okay.
If you're watching, give us a like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. That way, you always know when we go live. You guys help us. And we do this not for us, but for you. And the cameraman has appeared out of the ether.
Messing us up already. Messing us
No,
up
not
already.
messing us up,
Messing
messing
me
you
up.
up.
Messing me up already.
Greetings, cameraman. It's a pleasure as always. So yeah, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon, smash it, if you will, and yeah,
Freedom punch it.
the last serious podcast of the year, hopefully.
Yeah, next one will be kind of like a just shooting the bull, remembering all our highlights from the year.
Yeah, yep.
Are we gonna come up with a highlight reel?
I mean, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot. That's a lot to
It's a
do.
lot of work. Log4Shell. Cameraman said, hey, so have you guys heard about Log4Shell yet? No.
Send us a link to the repository.
I have no idea. No clue.
No, I clue.
I've got no idea what that is. So yeah, if you want us to talk about it, just send us a link and we'll look into it while we're going tonight. So, Joe, how was the week?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Got
Yeah.
got a little peeling. going
Yeah,
on.
I don't know what this. I don't know, man. It's like the second time within like that past few months. I'm worried that I don't know. I don't think it's skin cancer or nothing. I hope not.
That's not skin cancer.
I hope not.
You just got dry skin, man.
But it's like all in the same area, and it's terrible.
Cameraman says that Log4Shell is a remote code execution exploit that affects all systems running Java or are connected to any device that is connecting to something running Java. That's interesting.
I think I've heard of something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard of it. But anyway, so you had a good week.
It's good. Next week is this coming week is the last week of school for the year.
Nice.
I think I may get out of it with all A's.
Nice.
I'm hoping.
Congrats.
Thank you.
If you make it with all A's. If not, then
Stupid. Smell like failure.
Yeah. I know. I will
got-
feel like a failure.
you get B. Why you get stung by B? Why you don't get stung by A? So anyway, so you had a good week. My week was uneventful. I did get a new Christmas tree.
That
It's
looks
some-
like a rave.
Yes, and I love it. My kiddo loves it too.
Like
so
a Nordic rave.
yeah, I showed my kiddo today, because it came in today. So I went and got it, and I showed it to her, and she said, "I need that tree in my life." So it was like, well, this tree is in your life. It's just at my house, but it's pretty cool. It's app controlled, so I can like make it a solid color. I can make it do random stuff, whatever, you know. And then, you know, tomorrow is the final Formula One race of the season. If you don't know, I'm a huge Formula One fan. Ready for Red Bull to take the championship. Let's go Max Verstappen. And fuck Lewis Hamilton. I don't like that guy.
I don't keep up with enough no names.
Well, I know, but I do. So just revel in it with me, okay? It's the final race of the season. They completely updated the new the track that they're racing on to make it faster and easier to overtake. I'm a fan. Verstappen is starting on pole. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so
We have just started and I'm already yawning.
no Cody tonight. So, Cody, virtual, how was your week? Don't care. Great. He sent me a meme this week that was about how one of your friends secretly hates you. And he goes, yeah, except for I already knew that you hate me. So, I don't hate Cody. But anyway, so,
You just don't love him.
yeah, I love Cody. I just like to give Cody shit, just like you. I like to give you shit. It's
Yeah.
just who I am as a person. My boss and I, we literally argue with each other all day, every day, because it's fun.
I got you.
Like, he'll come out of the office and say something that he knows I'll argue about, or I'll go into his office and say something that I know he'll argue about. And we just do that all day. And it is quite fun. But anyway, weeks are covered. And in typical American Liberty fashion, where's the button? Let's talk freedom things. So I hope that the sounds are actually coming through, because last week they weren't. And we had to fix that. Did it work?
I don't know. Let's see.
Probably just need the mic a little bit closer. Yep, they're working. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic.
So
Is that better, cameraman? I hope it's better.
he says you need your mic.
Yeah, I know,
turned up.
but my mic was like super far away from me,
Oh,
so I
I
moved
got
it
you.
closer. Anywho, so while we're waiting on cameraman, we'll actually, you know what? You can go over there and turn me up.
Yeah, you actually are turned down a little bit.
Yeah, I turned myself down.
Because you're so freaking loud.
Hey, the mouse is right there, dude.
Oh, well, I didn't know. See.
It's the one on the end. What about now? Is that better? Cameraman. Well, Cody's not here, so that's going to be a problem. Anyway, I think that probably fixed it. I hope it did. Well,
This week, Joe is control
yeah,
of the
this
mic
week
volume.
Joe is in control. So anyway, let's get back to what cameraman was talking about.
Cool.
So the Log4 shell, the exploit originally started as a Minecraft exploit where users were using it to take control over Minecraft servers through the exploit and console access. Minecraft is written in Java, but it's not the only thing. As Oracle states, over 3 billion devices run on Java. It's currently got the internet on fire. At the moment, scrambling to figure out how to fix it on systems with embedded Java chipsets on the hardware level. Whoever is in... Okay, so that was about me.
I Googled it, and yeah, man, it's on fire. Extremely bad vulnerability.
Vulnerability.
Yes.
That word.
Found in widely used logging system. Countless servers are vulnerable to Apache Log4j zero-day exploit. Recently uncovered software flaw. Most critical vulnerability. Internet's biggest players are all affected by critical Log4 shell. Logging library for millions of apps is a serious vulnerability. So
Yeah.
this could be the red button for the internet.
Bring it.
I'm ready. So ready.
Could you imagine what people would do without the fucking internet?
Shoot each other.
They'd fucking die.
Yes.
A lot of these kids don't even know how to cook a fucking ham and cheese.
Bro, no. Ham and cheese is next level for some of these folks. Like, we're talking like some of these people don't even know how to like cook a grilled cheese.
That's what I'm talking about. Like grilled ham and cheese or ham and cheese. Like they can't even put a piece of ham and a piece of cheese between two slices of bread.
I mean, someone probably struggle with ramen, I would imagine.
Holy shit. How do you struggle with ramen?
Like you can't, well,
You can't
me
fuck that
personally,
up.
I'm picky with ramen. I don't like it overcooked. I don't like the noodles super soft.
I don't like the noodles soft at all. I
like
like
them
a little bit
noodly.
of crunch.
Yeah, I don't like them with a crunch, but I like them noodly.
Not a lot. Just a little.
I like them noodly.
Like
Not,
just slightly undercooked.
like I don't like them like baked potato soft, but I don't like them like out of the pack crunchy either.
But I like my ramen just a little undercooked. Like enough that
Yeah.
it's still noodle and
Yeah.
bendy,
Yes.
but some bites just have that little bit of
I like them
resistance.
chewy. I like them chewy. Yeah, that's good. Chewy.
Anywho, so Mitch McConnell has done what nobody expected him to do, and by nobody I mean everybody knew that he was going to cave, and has given the Democrats an out to raise the debt ceiling again.
Look, they're going to raise the debt ceiling until they cannot raise it anymore, and it all just crashes.
The debt ceiling has been raised literally every year, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with the raising debt ceiling on the levels that it has been in the past, because unfortunately the government just spends too much money, and most of it is debt backed. What I do have a problem with is spending it or raising it to spend on shit that we really, really don't need, like the Build Back Better agenda, because we all know that this is not about the debt ceiling itself. This is about paying for Build Back Better, which, by the way, the only reason it costs as little as it costs, which is still not a small number, something to the tune of $1.9 trillion.
No, Jason, it's free, remember?
Because
It's free. Just the plan.
I'm finishing what I'm trying to say here before you interrupt me rudely. The only reason that it costs that little is because everything in it is set to sunset in a year. So they're not extending the costs out. But we all know that they're going to extend these programs, and the costs are going to be outrageous. Like, you can't deny it. Over the course of the 10 years that the programs will probably be in effect for, it's going to cost the U.S. something around $10 trillion. And it's ridiculous. We don't have the money to pay for this. It's not paid for.
No.
Oh, and by the way, Democrats had hidden away in their assault tax break. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, assault tax break is a tax break for blue states with extremely high state tax rates that allow taxpayers to exempt their state income tax money from their federal tax return. So if you pay 13% in California on your annual income, you can deduct that 13% from your federal tax return. But Democrats were against tax cuts for the wealthy, weren't they? Huh. Funny how that works when they're the ones electing you.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it is. They're the ones that are electing the Democrats, so the Democrats want to do them all solid. It's a swamp. It's a total swamp. But anyway,
we need that Java thing. To just end it.
Yeah, for real. If you'll go to the year turbs, I have us a playlist.
Where is the playlist?
It's over on the side, down.
I can't see.
Maybe show more. No, 12-11 show up, right there. Yeah, that's it. So I can't see any of that shit, which is a huge problem. Go on up to the yeah. Well, where's the? Okay, go down. That one. Up, yep, that one. You mute that junk right now.
Yes, I got it. Got it, man.
I got it, man.
Whatever you want to do.
Full screen it.
Great.
Yep.
Oh.
Unmute.
And you got criticism from your side.
This is not the one I wanted. Go back.
Republicans did not vote yes.
Oh,
You then excoriated the majority leader, saying you wouldn't help in the letter to the president.
How's
Some
that?
are now saying you've gone back again.
No, no,
What
let's
do you
scrap
say
it out.
when you drew those two red lines and now saying, oh,
Holy crap. This is why we need Cody. The one below it. Up. What is that? Yep, that's it.
For Washington Democrats, 2021 will have one major theme: ramming through inflationary spending on a partisan basis that hurts American families and actually helps China. That's how this all-Democratic government began the year, jamming through a wasteful excuse for a stimulus bill that drove up prices, made supply chain problems even worse. Not a single Republican supported it, and Democrats now want to end the year with another massive spree that would make it even worse. The whole country understands that Democrats own this mess. They have seized one-party control of the economy, so you better believe that they'll have one-party accountability for the resulting nightmare. The president and his allies are badly upside down in overall approval ratings, upside down on the generic ballot, upside down on the economy, and the more the men and women of this country learn about the reckless taxing and spending spree that Democrats are planning next, the less they want it or anything close to it. Democrats have wanted to transform the country alone. They want to print and borrow trillion after trillion on their own. They want to create even more inflation on their own. So, as Republicans have made clear for months, they will have to own a debt ceiling increase as well. This week, the House and Senate have reached a bipartisan agreement to make that happen. As the Democratic leader said yesterday, the Democrats are, quote, willing to carry the burden, and so they will. We've reached an agreement on a one-time, one-shot statutory process that will enable Democrats.
One time, one shot. Do you know what that's going to turn into? Every time they're not getting what they want, they're going to try to do this same exact thing. You've opened the door, Mitch. You open the door, and Democrats are going to go straight through it. Every time. Yeah, you can say that it's a one-shot, one-time thing all you want. But the reality is that's not what it is. The pad just died.
Oh, no.
So I guess I'm using my phone. Unfortunately, the phone is not on the correct... Shit. This is bad.
What? What is it?
The phone doesn't have the right profile on it.
It really died?
Yes, it died, and it's plugged in. Stupid. This is so annoying. Because I was in a good train of thought, and then it was just like, nah, dude.
Well, while you're getting that up, I'm gonna let this keep rolling.
Yep, go ahead. I mean, it's
Democrats to raise the debt limit at a fixed dollar amount, which they will specify. Much like the vote on an arms sales resolution that occurred yesterday and the Congressional Review Act vote that will occur today, this will be a standard expedited process at a simple majority threshold established by law. Democrats will get one shot at this. They won't be able to add any other amendments, and every single Senate Democrat will have to put their name to the gigantic dollar amount of debt they're prepared to pile on the American people.
So, I mean, I've got it back on just us, so I'm going to put this sucker back down here on the old charging brick because that clearly did not work out. And that's frankly quite annoying. Frankly, it's very rude.
Very rude. So, something I would like to add to this whole, Build Back Better plan. I think, so did you hear about Biden also signing the executive order to reach net zero emissions by 2050?
Yeah, good luck with that.
To me, okay.
I'll take stuff that's not going to happen for 1,000, Alex.
Well, first of all, why would we need to even reach net zero? So I think people think that we need zero emissions to save the planet, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case.
Trees use carbon to make oxygen.
Well, I mean, we exhale carbon dioxide. The fact of the matter is that net zero is not feasible right now.
It's not possible.
No, it's possible.
No, it's not.
It's possible distantly into the future.
It's possible if we quit making things.
Right, like I said, it's not possible right now.
It'll be possible after the World War III.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's not possible in a civilized society that makes things.
I mean, but it is, just not right now. It will be down the road. Like way, way, way down the road. We're talking way longer than 2050. We're talking, we need nuclear fusion. We need reliable solid-state batteries that do not require rare earth minerals. We need a lot of things that we just don't have, and we're not going to have.
What I'm saying is we're not going to make anything out of plastic or metal anymore.
There are plastics that are not made from carbon.
But the process to melt them down and all that stuff will probably create carbon on some level.
Do you know that you can make plastic from hemp?
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's carbon-based, but it's not petroleum-based.
But guess what? When you cut down hemp and break it down, guess what is created from that?
It's not the same type. It's not petroleum. It's not a reliance on fossil fuels.
There is no chance we will ever reach net zero. Ever.
It's possible, but not yet.
I don't think it's possible.
Nothing is out of the realm of possibility.
I don't think it's possible at all.
That's just the plain and simple fact is that nothing is out of the realm of possibility. There's no such thing as impossible.
We're not even thinking outside of human existence. Like, dude, think about just like volcanoes.
Okay, but we're not talking about net zero for the entire planet. We're talking about net zero
for the United States
production of carbon.
Right. I still don't think it's possible.
Like, they're talking no petroleum-based cars. They're talking no petroleum-based power. But alternatively, carbon capture devices, much like trees, that can capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it's in the realm of possibility. It's just not technologically possible at the moment.
Think about this. But think about the regulation and probably the infringement of rights that's going to come with that.
Right, because it's not possible right now.
We can't make ammunition without some sort of emission.
Yes, we can.
How are we gonna smelt lead or aluminum?
You're not creating carbon dioxide per se.
That takes heat.
Also, you are failing to see carbon capture devices and the true meaning of net zero. It doesn't mean zero production of carbon. It does not mean zero production of carbon dioxide. It means balanced. We're able to capture as much as we put out.
I still just
You're misinterpreting what net zero means.
but think about this too. So what about people that burn like wood to heat their home?
Okay, again, we're talking about net zero, not true zero.
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, you don't think a lot of things are going to happen, but they can and probably will. There's a lot of people that think fusion energy is never going to happen, but guess what?
I don't think that.
They reached ignition the other day. Ignition is more energy output than input. Now, the problem is self-sustaining ignition.
But I say now, if it's self-sustaining and it puts out more energy, that defies the laws of physics and it completely will rewire.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No. A positive output does not defy the laws of physics. The sun does it every day.
And the exception is nuclear fusion, I believe, something like that.
That is the sun.
Right.
Nuclear fusion is literally what happens in the sun.
Yes, I got that.
It's not
Got
the
that.
exception. It's possible.
But what I'm saying,
The issue is that you have to put in enough energy to maintain the pressures and hit temperatures necessary for fusion to occur. The problem has always been that the amount of energy you're getting out of any fusion that happens has been lower than the amount you get put into it. So true ignition is an output greater than what you get out. Yeah. The sun, so cameraman says the sun is the perfect example of sustained net zero output. Because it is.
I got you.
Now, astrophysics aside, because that's basically what that is. It's all astrophysics shit that I don't fully understand, but I'm into that stuff. Like, I enjoy reading about it and looking at it. Back to what we were talking about, Build Back Better, and the debt ceiling increase. There have been numerous senators get up in Congress. It's on the YouTube.
For Washington
they've
Democrats,
gotten up
2021 will
and
have one.
Said, we didn't want this. We didn't make a deal. Up at the top. Those first two videos.
All you do in your
Yep.
President.
From South Carolina.
Thank you. I have a different approach that will get to the same result, but to my colleagues here, we're playing the Medicare card in a very dangerous fashion. Senator Hawley said it pretty well. Medicare is something people depend upon, and all of us understand the need to keep Medicare solvent. We need to reform it to save it.
Now, pause
But
it.
this
real quick.
idea puts all of us.
Now, what we're talking about here is the fact that they were trying to tie Medicare and Medicaid to the debt ceiling increase. They were basically going to cut funding to Medicare and Medicaid if they didn't pass the debt ceiling increase.
Which is one of the last things we need to be cutting funding to.
Correct. Now, there was a bill proposed by the senator from Louisiana that bypassed all of that. It was a one-item bill, which we support as libertarians. We like one-item bills because that's what all bills should be.
Easy to
one
read.
item, easy to read, short,
No
to
bullshit.
the point. So what he's talking about here is basically that bill. They're trying to get a vote on that bill. But anyway, I just wanted to give a little bit of background.
In a box, and I don't appreciate it. And I won't forget it. Now, this is a problem on our side. You don't even have to listen, Senator Wyden. For 4 months, We've been saying as a party, our Democratic colleagues are spending all this money by themselves through reconciliation. They should choose that path to raise the debt ceiling. Because what are we talking about? A $1.9 trillion spending bill without one Republican vote through reconciliation. We have pending next week another reconciliation proposal that scores at $1.7 trillion if you assume every program goes away in a year. I'll be in the NBA before that assumption. I don't like my chances. Ronald Reagan said the closest thing to immortality on earth is a government program. So they've written the bill for the 17 big spending items to expire within 1, 2, or 3 years, and not one of them want them to expire.
He's right.
So the whole bill is a fraud, and Congressional Budget Office is going to give to me Friday what the bill would cost if the sunset clauses actually went away, didn't go away. What would it cost if the program survived, which it will? And I anticipate, Senator Kennedy, it will be at least twice what we're talking about. The effect on the debt is $367 billion only because they limited the programs to last for a year or two rather than the 10 years they're actually going to last. So the deficit's going to go from $367 billion to probably close to $2 trillion. We're going to expose that Friday. They're playing a game. They're creating gimmicks, and Senator Manchin, to his credit, said, I believe Build Back Better is full of gimmicks. We'll know Friday exactly what the bill would look like without gimmicks. This is the ultimate gimmick. If you'd have told me 4 months ago, how does this movie end? I will be reading in the paper about a rules change to the Senate made by the House, where I've got to pick between Medicare and abandoning what I said I would do for 4 months. This is a deal that led to Donald Trump. If you wonder why there's a Donald Trump, it's moments like this.
He's right.
Where everybody starts down a road that makes perfect sense, you panic, and you throw everybody over. They would raise the debt ceiling through reconciliation because they should. And we want to do it that way to deter spending in the future. We want to make it harder to use reconciliation to spend more money than World War II cost. If you look at the cost of World War II in present dollars, it was $4.7 trillion. When you look at all the money we spend and going to spend, it's going to be $5.4 trillion. Literally, we spent more money in the last year and a half than we did to win World War II. I think they should raise the debt ceiling, Senator Kennedy, through the process they used to spend the money. That made perfect sense to me as a Republican. That's why I said it for 4 months. Now, all of us on our side have a moment of reckoning here. I don't want to default, and we won't. But I do want to make sure that when Republicans tell their other Republicans and the public at large, you can somewhat count on who we are and what we say. We put that at risk for no good reason. To the leadership of both sides, I like you. Senator McConnell has been a great Republican leader, minority leader, majority leader, but this is a moment where I want to be on the record to say I don't like this. What we've done is allow the House of Representatives to change a Senate rule. No matter what the subject matter, that's not a good idea. We set in place a process that allows our Democratic colleagues to raise the debt ceiling without using reconciliation, the budget process, where they would have to amend the budget resolution. The very resolution they used to spend all this money, we're simply asking, amend it to pay for it. We've taken that off the table. And people on our side are not going to accept this very well. So all I can say is I want to make it clear. When it comes to Medicare, count me in to avoid the cuts. When it comes to raising the debt ceiling, I want it done through a process that will make it harder to spend all this money in the future. Now I want to be part of a Republican Party that you can take what we say to the bank on big stuff. stuff that matters.
Hi, we are Woodger.
So, Senator Graham's right, 100%. Why is your mouse being dumb? I think perhaps your batteries are dying. We're pretty much done with that. And then the next video, down one. No, go up. Up. That one. You go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I want to talk about the American Taxpayer and Medicare Act, of which I am a sponsor. Co-sponsoring this legislation with me are Senator Graham, Senator Haggerty, Senator Tim Scott, Senator Rick Scott,
So the videos were out of
Senator
order.
Blackburn, Senator Hawley,
But whatever.
Senator Cotton, Senator Bozeman, and others who are likely to join. I'm going to make a few remarks about the bill. A number of my colleagues would also like to comment about my bill, so I will be yielding to them, and at the end of my colleagues' remarks, I will have a motion to make. Madam President, as a result of the American Rescue Plan, working in conjunction with the Budget Control Act of 2011, there are cuts scheduled to take effect in 2022 with respect to Medicare and with respect to our farmers. Medicare specifically, unless my bill passes and unless this body takes action, will be cut $36 billion. Those Medicare cuts will include, but they're not limited to, but they'll include cuts to cancer treatments for our elderly. Those cuts would reduce.
I would like to add that Medicare is not what most people are using. Medicare is what the elderly get after they retire.
Correct. My grandmother's on Medicare.
So this is not a feet just sucking off the system thing. This is what you have paid into, and you're getting what your due back.
Correct.
So this is our money that they're telling us, no, you can't have it anymore.
Well, that's not necessarily what they're telling us. What they're trying to cut the budget because the federal government pays a certain amount into it as well. It's not just taxpayer dollars. Well, I mean, it's all taxpayer dollars, but
if
it's not just what is allocated through what we pay on our on our checks.
But especially this is something we should not be touching at all, period.
No, it's not. Hold on just a second. Cameraman, I know you want us to talk about the Log4j stuff, and we will get to that after we hit all of the topics. So, I just wanted to let you know we're not ignoring what you're saying, but we'll get to it after the relevant stuff. Continue.
But yeah, this is for the elderly.
Yeah, it's something that my grandmother uses.
Right.
Like,
and when you're older and you're on Medicaid, you are more susceptible to things like cancer.
And COVID.
And COVID.
Which, by the way, Omicron continues to look like it's just mild.
We'll get to that.
And anyway, yeah. But continue.
Laboratory fees and analysis that our seniors depend on every single day. For the reasons I just referenced, our farmers are also going to get cut unless we take action, specifically the crop insurance programs on which our farmers rely. We're recovering from a pandemic.
As somebody who is prospecting this field as a way of making a living and feeding my family, let me tell you, this is a absolutely terrible idea.
Yeah.
Crop insurance and the whole idea of if your crop doesn't make, you get, compensated for that, which is a lot of farmers get that. Like they get money back every year for their crop not doing as good as it is, and which is an increasing problem because we're destroying our topsoil and erosion and increasing weather issues.
Typical stuff.
Yes. Well, no, I wouldn't say typical. I would say it's stuff that's...
No, I mean, but stuff that's happening.
Right.
That we all know about.
But if we lose the farmers, we already have a problem with there not being enough farmers. The average age of a farmer is like 48, 50-something years old. That's bad.
Yep.
That is terrible. We need farmers to feed people. If we lose the farmers and you don't know how to grow your own food, you are effed.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling we're heading that way no matter...
I mean, I
have a feeling we're heading that way.
regardless of what happens. But, and there's actually a video that I wanted to play after we're done talking about the debt ceiling stuff, because it's relevant to the general feel around the country at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
But let's continue with this.
Madam President, as we all know, now is not the time, in my judgment, to put this burden on our seniors and on our farmers. Our seniors, part of the greatest generation, don't deserve them. And our farmers, the backbone of America, don't deserve these cuts either. In fact, America was born on a farm, and I think we ought to keep that in mind. This time, Madam President, I would like to yield to the senior senator from Arkansas, Senator Bozeman.
Thank you, Madam President, and I want to thank Senator Kennedy for his help and his leadership in this effort. We simply have to support America's healthcare providers, farmers, and ranchers. Doctors and the entire medical community are still struggling after being unable to perform non-emergency procedures during the pandemic. With an aging population and more physicians not accepting Medicare because of insufficient payment, Medicare beneficiaries would face a reality of less access to quality care. That's why I introduced my own legislation to prevent these damaging cuts from harming our physicians, our providers. Our agricultural community is also struggling, and we must protect our farmers and ranchers by ensuring their operations can stay afloat and keep producing the most abundant and safest food supply in the world. For all of these reasons, I support Senator Kennedy's bill. I understand that my fellow senator from Missouri also has some concerns, and so I yield.
So, this continues on. There's like 3 more people that speak on it.
All I gotta say is don't mess with the farmers, bro.
And then at the end, Senator Kennedy gets back up and he says the American people, when they look at Congress, they see liars and frauds everywhere. And he's right. We do. We all see it. We all know it. But they're talking about this bill. They want this bill to be voted on. You know, and the whole purpose of them talking is they're trying to get the bill voted on without objection. And of course, what happens at the end? A Democrat objects. Because Democrats do not care. They have no principle. They don't care about the people that they represent. They don't care about the millions of senior citizens that Medicare could impact. Now, Senator Kennedy also says, I know a deal's been made, but I didn't make that deal. I didn't want that deal, and that's why I wrote this bill. And that's the stuff that we need. This is what should have happened to begin with. The Democrats should have had to pass reconciliation, or pass the debt ceiling increase via reconciliation, as the process outlines. But instead, McConnell and Schumer got together and figured out a workaround that's going to be used for everything now. They're suspending the filibuster to pass the debt ceiling increase on a pure majority vote. Majority rule does not work. Period. It never has. It never will. Because even if you have 51 to 50 votes, those 50 people that didn't want it are getting fucked. Majority rule is a bad idea. That's just like if me, you, and Beth were sitting at this table and I had $100 and you and Beth had $0 and we took a vote to see how that money would remain. I would vote that I get to keep my $100 because it's mine. But you and Beth might vote that we split it up between the three of us. Or you and Beth might vote that you two get it all to your own. So who gets screwed there?
You.
Exactly.
No matter what, you get screwed.
The minority always gets screwed. Period. And that's what's happening in the chambers as we speak.
That's what's happening in society, period.
That's true, too.
Like.
It literally is. Now, Cameraman says the federal government hasn't met its obligation to pay in Social Security, Medicare, and others in over 30 years. And he's right.
He says that's the reason they always want to cut it, because they are 3 decades behind on their obligated payments into those systems.
Correct.
Yep.
Medicare, Social Security, it's all insolvent.
They know if they actually were to probably take the money they owe and put it in there, that there's less of a chance of them being able to vote themselves a raise.
Yep. I just don't agree with any of what's happening in the chambers at the moment because of the fact that I know that they just allowed the Democrats to skirt by without having to use reconciliation, which they can only use 3 times in a year. And they're going to pass Build Back Better the same way. And it's fucking stupid. Build Back Better is useless. You know, and there's a lot of people right now that are expecting big tax returns because of their child tax credit. You don't get that because the child tax credit's been given to you all year. Or at least some of it. They're going to get a lower amount on their income tax return.
Pat.
He probably meant Matt.
Oh. What's up, Probst? Probst
What's
in
up?
the house.
Probst in the house. So anyway, I mean, it's a lot viewer stream tonight. It's because Cody's not here.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Cody brings the views. I don't know what the deal is, but Cody brings the views.
It's really annoying.
Cody brings the views
because he literally does nothing.
He puts in the funny little pundits that.
I don't even.
And it may be the people he's sharing it to. I don't know.
It probably is.
He may have a larger reach than me.
But you know what? If those people would subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, then they'd always know. And then we wouldn't need Cody to.
But I like Cody here.
I like having Cody here too. I'm not saying that. But
anyways,
Cody likes to send us stuff that we've seen like 3 days prior. And it's hilarious. I laugh every time. It's like,
he'd be like, guys, did you hear about this? And I'm like, I was literally talking about that about 2 days ago.
2 days ago, Bo. 2 days ago. Anyway.
He works a lot though, to be fair.
He does. Anywho, so let me get that video.
Let's put it this way. I think we're all in for a rough ride.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be a rough next 10 years, I believe.
It really is. Make sure that my mic didn't just disconnect. Yaha. Okay, perfect. My arm was on the cable. I just wanted to make sure.
Would you say 10 years?
I would say less than that.
Maybe. If we can get a libertarian or a Republican in, it might be better in the next 4 years. Because I have a feeling Biden's getting back in there.
All right. Go back to the playlist. You're going to have to refresh it.
If I can get the mouse to work.
And the very last video. So, speaking
The gift of ancestry is a walk through your history.
You remember where this is?
Speaking of the way that we all feel about the direction that the country is headed in, I think Brian Williams puts this pretty perfectly in his final sign-off.
Brian Williams retired?
Thursday was his very last broadcast.
Man. All right, ready?
Yep.
Well, look at the time. I'll try to keep this brief. After 28 years of Peacock logos on much of what I own, it is my choice now to jump without a net into the great unknown, as I do for the first time in my 62 years. My biggest worry is for my country. The truth is, I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm an institutionalist. I believe in this place, and in my love of country, I yield to no one. But the darkness on the edge of town has spread to the main roads and highways and neighborhoods. It's now at the local bar and the bowling alley, at the school board and the grocery store. And it must be acknowledged and answered for. Grown men and women who swore an oath to our Constitution, elected by their constituents, possessing the kinds of college degrees I could only dream of, have decided to join the mob and become something they are not, while hoping we somehow forget who they were. They've decided to burn it all down with us inside. That should scare you to no end as much as it scares an aging volunteer fireman. To my coworkers, my love and thanks, and I say again, everyone I've worked with has made me better at what I do. To my family, love and thanks doesn't begin to cover it, but now I have the time to better express it. My friends know who they are. No one's been blessed with better friends. To the guests on this broadcast, as you heard the nice man say a few minutes ago, it's always been about you. Otherwise, I'd be staring into the camera for an hour, 5 nights a week, and nobody wants to see that. You are the 11th hour and will continue to be the 11th hour. This is where I thank you, however, for being so great, for explaining these last 5 years. As a proud New Jersey native, this is where I get to say regrets. I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. What a ride it's been. Where else? How else was a kid like me going to meet presidents and kings and the occasional rock star? These lovely testimonials that I can never truly repay make me hyper aware that it has been and remains a wonderful life. It's as if I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning in Bedford Falls. The reality is, though, I will wake up tomorrow in the America of the year 2021, a nation unrecognizable to those who came before us and fought to protect it, which is what you must do now. My colleagues will take it from here. I will probably find it impossible to be silent and stay away from you and lights and cameras after I experiment with relaxation and find out what I've missed and what's out there. Every weeknight for decades now, I've said some version of the same thing. Thank you for being here with us. Us, meaning the people who produce this broadcast for you. And you, well, without you, there's no us. I'll show myself out until we meet again. That is our broadcast for this Thursday night. Thank you for being here with us. And for all my colleagues at the networks of NBC News, good night.
Granted, Brian Williams has his flaws, right? He's had some questionable,
like he says, he's not a liberal,
segments.
But
I think a lot of what Brian Williams caught flack for back in the day, like I don't know for sure, and I don't want to say for sure that it was him, but I've heard the getting out of the helicopter under gunfire and stuff was him. I can't remember if it was or not.
That was him. Oh, man.
That wasn't true. But at the end of the day, was it him making it up, or was it the network making it up?
Was the network telling him to say that?
Correct. And I think that it is more likely that the network was telling him to say things like that. And I think that this was him telling us who he truly is.
Yeah. Could be. It did seem like he was kind of like, you know what, this place is a shithole.
And but that's essentially what he said. The politicians have chosen to burn it all down with us inside. And they have.
Yep.
They truly have. And Build Back Better, this debt ceiling increase, all of those things show you that they have chosen to burn it down with us inside. So,
which kind of brings me to our next little topic of how I kind of hope this kind of happens now. Just because maybe we do need a war with Russia. Because a war with Russia is not going to be just fought in Russia. Maybe we need a little blue. Everybody needs to get what is it? Blue pilled? Blue pill?
Red pilled.
Everybody needs a little red pill.
Yeah. Speaking of red pill, the new Matrix movie, I'm excited about it.
Yes.
Anyway.
But I think society needs to be red pilled.
Give us a little bit of that. A little bit of red action.
Oh, because we're talking about Russia?
Yeah. Man, I wish I had the Soviet national anthem on my soundboard. Anyway, so Russia has amassed 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. It appears imminent that there will be an invasion. This is no longer posturing, I don't think. I think Russia is starting to flex their muscles. Now, granted, Russia is not nearly as well off economically as everyone seems to think they are. Russia is still a shithole. But
hey, it's Tom. Tom's in the house.
Going to be bad. Who's Tom?
I'm friends with him on Facebook. I believe he's also part of the Alabama Libertarians group.
Fantastic. Welcome, Tom. I'm sure you've been here before, but I don't remember. I have a terrible memory. So.
But he mentions, no way, man, Russia has a nuclear arsenal. We have a nuclear arsenal, too. And that's kind of what I'm saying, Tom. Like, I think society needs a little dose of reality. I'm not saying I want everything to turn into a big glass sea. But if we went a couple of months without power and woke everybody up a little bit to really what's important in the world,
well, but the thing is Russia doesn't even have to nuke us. All they've got to do is is detonate in a high altitude.
Well, first of all, they're friends with China, and I'm pretty sure if China really, really wanted to, they could cut our power like that easily. Just flip switch. No, I'm talking about digitally.
Probably, yeah, that's probably an accurate statement too. Regardless, the three largest nuclear powered nations right now are in a pissing match. And the thing with Russia is that Russia feels emboldened because of the sloppy pullout from Afghanistan. They really do. And because we didn't do anything to go back in there and say, no, this is not how this is going to go. So Russia and China put their greasy little fingers in that pot that is Afghanistan and face no repercussions for it. So now both China and Russia feel emboldened. They're both flexing military might at the moment, with China and Taiwan and Russia and Ukraine. And Ukraine did this several years back with Crimea. They took over Crimea. Their goal is to take everything that was part of the Soviet Union and bring it back to Russia.
Pause on the conversation. We have a new person just come in, Morta, and he says he's Palestinian. Welcome.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yep, let's go, Brandon.
Fuck Joe Biden. Welcome to the show. Anybody that's here that wasn't here for the beginning of the show, please give the show a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified every time we go live. We do this every Saturday night at 8:30, except for next week and the following 2 weeks because Christmas and New Year's. The schedule is going to be off a little bit. But we're planning on doing a real banger for next Friday night. There'll be no Saturday show. And then we'll see you guys in the new year. Providing that, the entire world doesn't go to shit before then.
We may get a Christmas present from Russia.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that we get a Christmas nuke. But
So I hope everybody's getting ammo for Christmas.
yeah. So if you'll go back to the your turbs.
You know what I'm ready for?
What? What the hell is that? Was that a boar?
No, it was a line.
Oh, well, that doesn't... I don't know why you're ready for a lion. Oh my God, shut up. Go back to the your turbs.
Hold on.
I don't even know what that is.
Anybody
I
that's
only
seen the
assume
movie.
that it is Red Dawn.
It is Red Dawn.
It's been so long since I've seen the original.
The original one's so much better. I'm trying to see what... Oh, here we go. I'm ready.
Okay. First off,
Okay. I'm ready.
go to the YouTubes. Now, Ted Cruz. Up. Yep. Go all the way back to the start.
Ready?
All right. Yep.
Cruz, Republican senator from the great state of Texas now, member of the Senate Foreign Relations and Judiciary Committees. Great to have you in focus today. Let's start with right where I was with Jackie, and that is Americans on the ground there. And forget about the optics. We need action and leadership on this.
Well, listen, it is profoundly dangerous. There are over 100,000 Russian troops that are massed on the Ukrainian border. This weekend, the Biden administration declassified their own assessment that an invasion is imminent, and that it could come as early as January or February of next year. And candidly, the administration is trying to prepare everyone for the very substantial possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. The thing to understand, this is Joe Biden's fault. It's Joe Biden's fault for two reasons. Number one, you mentioned just a minute ago, the disaster of Afghanistan, the weakness that Biden showed surrendering to the Taliban. Every enemy of America took a measure of the man in the Oval Office, and that same surrender that we've seen to the Taliban, the rest of the enemies of America were emboldened by that surrender. But secondly, Biden very specifically surrendered to Putin on Nord Stream 2. Now, why does Nord Stream 2 matter?
I just want to put a little 2 cents in real quick. So they can talk about taking a measure of the man in the Oval Office, right?
Yep.
They're also taking a measure of this country right now. What do you hear people obsessing over these days? They're not obsessing over being a strong country and...
No, they're obsessed with gender, sexual orientation, and race.
And animals. Have you noticed that, like, probably half the damn country probably takes better care of their dog than they do their kid?
Yes.
Like, they call themselves a pet parent now.
Well, those are people that don't have
They're
kids.
my fur babies.
A lot of those people don't even have children. They just have
Well, that's
animals.
and that's another thing. They're electing to have pets rather than children.
Yeah, I mean, so we're at below replacement rate.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah. In the next couple of generations, the United States may cease to exist if we don't lose it in this generation.
Georgia Godstones, man.
I need another beer.
Go get you one.
I don't have no more. I'm out. I'm empty. I'm on E. No, you don't have to do that. You don't got to do that.
I'm not going to drink it.
You're not going to drink it?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, it's still cold, too.
Yeah.
Listen to that click.
Anyway, Probe says, hey, my puppies mean everything to me. I mean, I love my dog. I really do. But if it came to the dog or the kid comes first.
If it comes to the dog or the kid, we're having dog brisket.
Holy shit. Cameraman, why? Cameraman says your puppies taste good with some sweet and sour
I'm actually
white
with
rice.
I'm actually with cameraman on this one. If it comes down to it, I'm eating the dog. I mean, I'd rather not eat the dog.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to it, I'm eating the dog.
Right. Tom says Ted Cruz, the Canadian Goldman Sachs boy. Now, granted, I like Ted Cruz and I don't like him. It's a mixed bag. Some things I really agree with him on. As far as this, I completely agree with him. He's shown weakness.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Biden is the entire reason that Russia feels emboldened. Biden is the entire reason that China feels emboldened. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline, as Cruz was about to get into, is a big deal because guess what? He shut down a pipeline in America and then greenlit the Nord Stream.
Yeah.
All that says to Russia is you don't care about your citizens. But comrade, thank you for the oil money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Russia. One thing they got to understand too is like Russia's not thinking, man, you guys are so nice. Like, thanks for doing this.
No,
they're thinking, ha, you sucker.
They're thinking,
like we're about to shove this right back up your ass.
Comrade, you are stupid American pig who just paid for military. Thank you.
By the way, Propes, well, we're not, Prope said, I'm not just saying that you care about your dog. Hold on. I'm just saying that just because you really care about your dog doesn't make you weak. No, we're not saying that.
No, it doesn't.
We're not saying that. Justin loves his dog too. I love my dog.
Correct.
It's just...
Well, your dog's an asshole.
Well, I wanted one like that for a reason.
Your dog is an asshole.
Because he was meant to be the doomsday dog.
He's annoying.
He was meant to be doomsday dog.
He
survival
barks
dog.
incessantly every time.
Which is probably the reason he's going to... Like, I'm probably going to have to shoot him when doomsday actually comes because he's going to get me killed. Because he will not quit barking. So I may have to shoot him.
I have a feeling I'm about to piss Morta off. Because Morta says we have many problems over here too. That media is not reporting Joe Biden having Israel commit war crimes against Palestine. First off, Joe Biden is not pro-Israel. He's never been pro-Israel. Second off,
no, like he's not telling Israel anything. Israel does not get told what to do.
No, Israel does what Israel wants.
Right.
The second fact of the matter here is that Israel is not committing war crimes. Israel has made several concessions to Palestine. Several. They gave Palestine land that they did not have to give them.
Yeah.
And the Palestinian Authority continues to fire rockets into Israel, into civilian populated areas. Israel does things like drop knock bombs on buildings before leveling them.
Now, granted,
they sacrifice their ability to kill the terrorists by warning people in the building that they're about to blow the building to bits.
Now, granted, though, this all being said, we're not saying that Israel is like the saint of the world.
No. Israel's not a saint.
Israel definitely has its flaws.
I mean, have you seen the theory that Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein are Mossad operatives?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, that went a lot deeper than what I expected.
Yeah,
I was
really did. But I'm not saying
like I was thinking of like pedos, then all of a sudden the Mossad come in. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what?
Morta, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that Palestine is all terrorists. I know that there are good Palestinians. I know that you guys just want to be your own place, and I respect that. But based on the information that I've seen, Israel is not the aggressor in this situation. Israel has been defending itself from attacks from the Palestinian Authority for as long as the Palestinian Authority has existed. And that's just how I see it, based on the information that I've seen. Now, you may have better information than I do, seeing as you're there. But that's not the information that I have. The information that I have shows that Israel is protecting Israel. And Israel has a right to exist just like Palestine has a right to exist. But the fact of the matter is that if Palestinians lived in Israel, they would be treated better in Israel than they would be treated in Palestine.
Well, there was that one thing, I think, where they said the Palestinians were being pushed off of their, like, the Islamic area or something like that.
Jewish Israelis can't even go on the Temple Mount, dude.
I knew that.
The Temple Mount is in Israel.
Right.
So you can't tell me that the Israelis are not doing everything they can be to be, respectful for Muslims.
I mean, I don't know. Like you said, we don't know because we're not there.
Correct. But all the information that I've seen...
based on the information we are given and we have gotten where we're at, yeah, Israel does not seem like the aggressor. No.
No, and honestly, you would see a lot more death in Israel if it weren't for the U.S. funding things like Iron Dome, which is a purely defensive military piece. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, in my opinion, that Israel has a right to exist just as much as Palestine does, and that both sides are guilty of one thing or another, but the aggression seems to be coming from Israel.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, Morta, if that makes you angry, but that's how I see it. So, go ahead and let...
But back to Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, that's, yeah.
Nord Stream 2 is a pipeline that Russia is building to go directly from Russia to Germany. They're doing it because they want to bypass Ukraine. In 2014, Putin invaded Ukraine, invaded Crimea, but didn't continue to invade the rest of the country, didn't go all the way to Kiev. Why? Because right now the Russian natural gas goes through Ukraine, through Ukrainian energy infrastructure to get to Europe. And if they had invaded Ukraine, the Ukrainians could have destroyed that pipeline and cut off their ability to get to market. So Nord Stream 2 is all about enabling Russia to cut Ukraine out of the transit loop in order for them to march the tanks, drive the tanks into downtown Kiev. In 2019, I authored bipartisan legislation, sanctions on Nord Stream 2, passed both houses of Congress. President Trump signed it into law, and the day that my legislation was signed into law, Putin stopped construction of the pipeline. It lay dormant for over a year until Joe Biden got elected.
Why would he do that?
Because they want to make nice to Germany. The Biden...
So as a libertarian, I'm sitting here thinking, why are we even bothering with it? Like,
I mean, for one, just let them do what they want to do.
Right. If they got an agreement with Germany or whatever, freaking just let them do what they're going to do. Why are we involved with it?
Because American policy for the past 60 years has been interventionist, not isolationist.
I mean, yeah, I get like you said, he put a thing where, you know, a boy or what is it? What do you say he put on it?
Sanctions.
Sanctions. Why? If they, why does America have to be like, no, Russia, you can't have a deal with Germany, even though, like,
it doesn't make any sense.
Like, to me, that would like piss. Why is Germany not pissed off at us right now? Because Germany had money to make on that.
Well, I mean, Germany probably was pissed off at us, regardless.
We taught them once already, though.
Son of a bitch. Anyway. It's one of those things where it enriches Russia. Russia is a geopolitical adversary at the moment. It's all bullshit. Everything that we pay these people to do, they don't do, and instead they just interfere in everyone else's shit. So it's fucking stupid. So,
indeed.
Foreign policy team, you just showed Jake Sullivan. I've joked that their foreign policy team sleeps with votive candles of Angela Merkel under their beds. And Merkel really wants this pipeline. But the timing is stunning. Biden was sworn into office on January 20th, 2021.
Damn it, Ted.
Began building the pipeline again on January 24th, 2021, 4 days after Biden was sworn into office. Biden waived the sanctions that I had authored, that we had imposed on Nord Stream 2, waived it. At the time he waived it this summer, both Ukraine and Poland said publicly that by waiving the sanctions, Biden was creating a military threat to Ukraine from Russia. And let me tell you, Harris, Biden could stop this today if he simply revokes the sanctions, revokes the waiver, and imposes sanctions, and he's unwilling to do so. If we see tanks in the streets of Kiev, it will be because Joe Biden surrendered to Putin.
Wow. And look, Jackie Heinrich was just talking about contingency plans with regard to all of this, but particularly our people on the ground there. They better have some good plans. Because this is, as you've pointed out, These are our enemies. They're not on our side. These are not honest brokers at the table in terms of getting people out and doing the right thing. Nord Stream 2. We just got a lesson from the senator. Let's get to this. Some in Congress are demanding a full boycott of the Beijing Olympics.
It's all bullshit.
You know why I think Russia is so angry all the time?
Why?
Because Putin's wife broke the leg lamp.
This isn't the Christmas Story, man.
But you go look at him and look at the guy who plays the dad.
Oh, I know. I know.
He's just mad 'cause he just wants his leg lamp, man. He just wants his leg lamp.
He just wants to be able to smoke cigarettes and look at the leg lamp. Anywho.
And eat his turkey.
Yeah.
Is there more to that?
I don't know. I didn't watch all of it. But
I think they were kind of transitioning.
Yeah, they're transitioning to the Beijing Olympics now, which I agree. Nobody should take part in those because fuck China.
Piss off, China.
But it's one of those things where Russia has been emboldened by Biden and his actions. Just like China has been.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and all they see when they look at our country is they're not going to do shit. They're more worried about their PPs and vajayjays at the moment. And whether or not a man can have a PP and a woman and or a woman can have a PP and a man can have a vajayjay.
We can't even figure out. Okay, so China is trying to teach their kids, boys, how to be men. You do that in America, and that's just oppressive.
Correct. Now, also, shit, I had something else to say, and then you said something, and I lost it.
Like, we're at that point now where, like, the idea of spanking your children is starting to actually become more acceptable to society. It's kind of just, oh, we don't really do that. Like,
yeah. Jocelyn got spanked.
My kids get spanked. Well, the one does because the other one
is too small.
The other one's too little. Like, if you
Yeah.
spank him right now, he's just going to be like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
He's not, he's not, you know, connecting that.
But that's the thing. Like, disciplining your children is not a bad thing.
No.
It has never been a bad thing. It will
No.
never be a bad thing.
No.
War's coming from Russia.
If you have a boy,
when Russia,
if you have a little girl, even like a little girl, right now is more even. I would say even more important than raising your men. It's always important to raise your boys to be men, but I would say even more important. It's important to raise your girl to be able to take care of herself, because girls, obviously, in a wartime situation, are going to have it harder.
Yep.
And there are things that can happen that I'm not going to go into detail. I mean, we're all adults here. We know what can happen. But bad things can happen.
Yep.
And you need to be able to teach your daughter how to defend herself.
I'm absolutely not worried about my kid. You know, both of her parents are very strong-willed individuals.
Yes.
And
reason they're not together.
she has definitely taken from both of us. And it's a good thing.
Yes.
It really is, because she is a strong and very intelligent child. And I couldn't be more proud of her. But
I think we've covered a lot of things tonight that kind of is showing hard times are coming, whether it's economic or war or and you know, we may wake up in a year or so and this may all just pass us by and it was just, you know, a hard time and everything's going back to normal. Doubt it, but
it's highly unlikely at this point.
I see a very hard time ahead of us, and if all you know how to do is sit in front of a computer twiddling your thumbs, you are not going to have an easy day.
You're not going to have a good time.
It's not going to be fun. If you're a boog boy, bring beer.
Bring the beer. And if you know how to make beer, even better.
Yes. If you bring beer, we won't put you on the front line. Or if you know how to make beer, we won't put you on the front line. You're going to make beer.
decent.
Yes, or moonshine.
Moonshine as well. Cider, something.
Anything fermented.
Some fermented, tasty adult beverages. So the whole Russia thing, you know, Biden and Putin had their talk. I don't think it went very well for Biden. I haven't really seen too much about it. I know they put snippets of it up.
Pretty much what I'm seeing 3 days ago, Biden warns Putin that if Russia will face a world of hurt if Ukraine invaded.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I was gonna say.
So basically,
there will be severe consequences, but also we're not sending any troops to Ukraine.
I don't know, man. That video was showing that showed troops in Ukraine.
That was not our troops.
It had American flags on the shoulder.
Regardless, Biden has already said we will not send troops. Do I believe that? No.
I mean, Obama said we weren't torturing people. We were. So.
Now, severe consequences if they invade Ukraine. Well, we already know what the severe consequences were for the people who helped plan the suicide bombing in Afghanistan. You know, there were none. He nuked an entire family that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
With an over-the-horizon capability. Yeah. So, what Biden means by severe consequences is...
he'll go on the news and be like, you bad person.
No, what he means is we're going to use our drone capabilities...
to
help Russia.
Yeah, probably. It does say here that G7 is absolutely unified over consequences if Russia invades Ukraine.
Good.
That's good,
but also we don't have any business being involved in it. There is nothing of consequence to us until they become actively aggressive towards us.
So, U.S. delivers 80 tons of ammunition to Ukraine.
Now, I saw something else as well that said that the Ukrainian government has pondered the possibility of, in the event of a Russian invasion, opening their arms stockpiles to the citizens and telling them to defend themselves by any means necessary.
Why don't we do that in freaking Iraq and Afghanistan?
I mean, we gave Afghanistan an army and an air force. And you see what happened there.
So U.S. media released new data on Russia probable attack in Ukraine. Let's see.
Regardless, Russia's going to invade Ukraine. It's probably going to happen in January or February.
Turkey ready to send at least 20 armed drones to Ukraine. I'd be surprised if it makes it to February. I'll be surprised.
Given the global backlash that they're getting, they may not, because it's not just us. But we're the big one.
I don't know. Russia really doesn't give a shit.
They really don't.
Like, they really don't.
They really, really don't. All they care about
is
Russia
and
vodka.
And killing shit.
Comrade, what is problem? So, this is one of those things. It's going to go badly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What are you doing? It's not that time yet. We've still got one more thing.
No, isn't it?
José Smollett. That's the wrong color. Red. I don't know if that's coming through or not, but I hope it is. Anywho. White. José Smollett has been convicted of 5 of the counts that he was charged with for staging a federal hate crime. And I think it's fucking comical.
This guy, oh my gosh, this guy.
First off,
this guy.
How many Trump supporters do you really think there are living in fucking Chicago?
They're walking around at, what was it, 2
o'clock in the morning in the middle of a fucking polar vortex. It was like 0 degrees. Also, who the fuck goes out at 2 o'clock in the morning for fucking Subway?
I didn't even know Subway was open at 2 in the morning.
Apparently they are in Chicago. Regardless, I think it's hilarious that he's going to jail for this. Because he absolutely should be. That's just all there is to it. He should be going to jail for this. Tom says, you think spanking him would be out of bounds because he wouldn't understand what's going on. Do you realize circumcising a newborn baby boy is one of the most traumatic things he may ever experience?
Dang it, Tom. You got to bring that into the conversation. See, Tom's obsessed with the whole circumcision thing. He's one of the libertarians that think we should make it illegal for you to be able to circumcise your kid.
Okay. First
Completely
off,
different topic.
We're not going there.
We've talked about that on a past...
We've talked about that before. I'm not
episode.
rehashing this. I don't care if you cut the foreskin off your baby's wee-wee. I do not care.
Personally, I think mine looks a little better without it. I have a pretty wee-wee.
I wouldn't know, and I don't want to know.
I don't want you to know. I don't want you to know.
Well, then stop asking me to make videos.
Ain't no videos. All right, so jury explains what sealed Jussie Smollett's fate. I'm serious. That's just this dude. This dude's name just pisses me off. He sounds like something that comes out of my butthole.
Jussie Smollett. I don't know if sending him to prison is really going to be too effective, though, because he obviously truly believes this fabricated story.
See, experts say Smollett is in matrix of arrogance as he awaits sentencing. Yeah, because he's a celebrity. He probably doesn't think anything's going to happen to him. Let's see. Let's see. When Smollett is sentenced next month, prosecutors said they plan to emphasize his bizarre turn on the witness stand, in which he lied for hours and hours and hours about how 2 Trump-loving bigots beat him up, tied a noose around his neck, and doused him in bleach. But far from showing remorse.
Except for you paid 2 Nigerians with a fucking check. You used a check.
And then they turn around like, yeah, this dude just paid us to do this. And they even have the check.
It's sad.
They still have the check.
It's sad that Jussie Smollett is going to have to share a cell with his attacker.
No, I bet the attackers get off.
No. Because Jussie Smollett is his own attacker.
Oh.
He literally paid to be attacked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going to be funny. Is,
like, come on, man. I'll fuck you up for free.
I hope they get to keep I hope they get to keep the check.
They're going to jail, too.
But for what? Like, they got paid to do it.
Staging a federal hate crime.
But they did, like really, if you
They
think
participated in staging a federal hate crime.
But did they know it was going to be that, like what he was doing, or like somebody said the other day, like what if they were like, hey man, like this guy may like pay us to be his, bodyguards or something eventually, and he may just be like trying to prove that or something.
Bro, they knew he was paying them to attack him.
Okay,
because he told them it was for publicity.
But far from showing remorse that may sway the judge in his favor, Smollett, 39, has continued to dig in his heels and told his attorneys to appeal the verdict. Experts say that stubbornness is among the textbook signs of narcissistic personality disorder that Smollett seems to exhibit, and which may have been exacerbated by growing up in an unusual family bubble. When someone launches something like this, there's a grandiose assumption they'll be able to get away with it. Dr. Ramani whatever, a clinical psychologist and expert on narcissism, told the Post. Then it slides into something delusional, and the delusion becomes the truth, and it becomes the truth he lives in. It becomes reality. While many watching the case wondered why Smollett didn't just cut his losses early on, Devasula said that it doesn't work that way with narcissists.
Smell like failure.
So this is from the New York Post, by the way. I'm reading from the New York Post.
It's still hilarious to me. And Tom is still on about this circumcision thing. Like,
I'm not touching the circumcision thing. We've touched it already, and I don't want to touch any more wee-wees, okay?
Tom.
I have to touch enough. I have to touch, look, and I'm not even the one that changes our kids' diapers, but I touch enough wee-wees already, like, unwillingly. Like, I have to because I have to take care of my children. But I touch enough wee-wees. I don't want to touch any more right now.
Okay. I'm just going to put this to rest right now. Joe and I do not care if you circumcise your children or don't.
Yes, and we don't think it's genital mutilation either.
It is not your place to tell a parent what they can or cannot do with their children. And to assume that you can tell someone that they cannot perform a religious circumcision on a newborn is a violation of the NAP. You cannot tell people what they can or cannot do with their children as long as they are not harming
because I brought it
you.
up. Yes.
And honestly, they numb it so much. It's not like they feel it. It's a medical procedure. It is not.
Well, and there's a lot of
painful.
people. There's a lot of people that I feel like you shouldn't have a say unless you have kids.
You really shouldn't.
Because when you actually see it happen and see what it really is and see what they go through, then you're really like, you know what? It's really not that big a deal. It's really not. It's really not.
Anywho.
And like I said, and I'm going to go here.
Wee-wee talk.
Well, hold on. I'm going to go here. And I'm
No, let's stop.
No, I'm going to go here. I'm going here. I feel like my dick would have been more ugly than it is now if I still had my foreskin.
I mean, penises are ugly to begin with.
I think I'm going to be honest.
First off, every man thinks their penis is beautiful.
And
my penis is beautiful.
My wife thinks mine is.
I'm sure she does. I don't care.
But what I'm saying is,
the penis is an ugly thing.
I believe there's even been women out there that say, no, that foreskin is gross and it's ugly and they don't like it. Okay? I'm just saying, like, to each their own, man. I'm just...
you know what?
In the end,
it's the family's choice.
Yes.
And if you don't like it...
But in the end, I'm also glad that my parents did it before I could remember it, because I'm going to tell you right now, man, just like getting, my junk clipped to not have kids, like, I couldn't do it. People kept asking me why I wasn't the one to do it and why I had my wife do it. Okay, man, here's the thing. I'm very squeamish.
Here's the deal.
I'm a very squeamish individual. I'm awake during the whole snip of the tubes down there, right? And they say you can see a little puff of smoke come up and all that stuff. Okay, I would never be able to have sex again because every time I had an erection after that, I would literally probably get a flashback, that little puff of smoke coming up from my balls.
Hold on. Probst asks, is abortion a family's choice? It is. It absolutely is.
If you're a family. Like if it's, if you are a functional family.
Nobody has the right to tell someone else that they have to carry a child, that they have to give birth. Do I agree with abortion? No. Is it my place to say?
I think what he's getting at is if you are married and your wife decides to get an abortion, do you have a say-so in it? At that point, you have together...
Yes, that is a different story.
But I think that even still, that is a moral... travesty because
we're talking about a family's decision versus a individual's decision.
But what I'm saying is that's still a moral travesty because you have to I feel like once you are married, you have agreed to make decisions together.
Correct.
You are no longer
that's a family.
You are no
decision
longer
at that
independent.
point. But as an individual woman, if you want to go get an abortion, that's on you. Tom, I'm just going to be very blunt right now. You can think I'm wrong all you want. I really don't care. Because my opinion is my opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. And I am thankful that I am circumcised.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
if
I'm
I
thankful.
had a son, I would get him circumcised.
I got both of mine circumcised.
And guess what? That's my choice. And if you don't like it, tough shit. It's my kid, not yours.
Yeah, I feel like there's a kind of like how, if you're not 18, you don't have certain rights. I also feel like, as a child like that, a parent does have a right to make decisions because I feel like when you open the door, if you open the door and say the government can't, if the government says that you can, you can't do something with your child like not an abortion,
like a circumcision.
Like a circumcision, then they can say, oh, well, you have to get your child vaccinated, or you cannot do this with your kid. You can only do this.
Yeah.
Like, you're opening a door for government. To me, it's just so weird that libertarians make a fight for this when it's like we're fighting for government to be less involved in people's lives.
And now you want them to legislate something away.
Right.
Small government wins every time. And if you're advocating for more laws, then...
And I guess it really comes down to, do you feel like children have a right to be able to control their lives? And no, I don't feel like they have a right to control their lives. They're children.
They're children. They need to be taught.
Right. I do not feel like children have even a percent, like...
Now, I think at a certain age, you start leading them.
Right.
And letting them make choices.
Now, I'm not talking about like a 15-year-old. I'm talking about...
We're talking like...
I'm talking about like my 4-year-old does not get a... He is provided choices.
Yeah.
But he does not get to make a choice outside those choices.
Right.
Like some people nowadays would say, oh no, you need to provide him whatever choice he decides. No. He gets the choices I give him.
So, I don't know how we got so far off of what... Oh, because Tom won't let go of the circumcision thing. That's why.
Okay, well now we're moving on from the circumcision.
We're moving on. We're going back to Juicy Smollett. Oh, and... Actually, first, Matt says, I was asking to understand your stance on abortion. It's clear you're okay with it for others. And it's more about advocating for the non-aggression policy. Correct. It is. Same thing for circumcisions. Because you telling me what I can't do is violating my NAP. And if I want my child circumcised, that's my choice.
And some people see circumcision as a good thing that is beneficial for their children. So they're not seeing it as a infringement on them. They're seeing it as a benefit, like it's good for them. This is good.
Yep.
I mean, frankly, like I said, man, I'm glad I don't have to pull back my foreskin to clean. Like, it just grosses me out. The idea of it just grosses me out. Like, I'm glad I don't have that.
Anywho, Jussie Smollett's going to prison. He'll do minimum 15 years.
I don't even think he makes it to 5 years.
No, he'll do minimum 15 years. He staged a federal hate crime.
Take the butt plugs with you, bro.
Here's the
thing. Get trained.
Though.
Get trained early.
Hey, don't make jokes like that.
What?
We're not making jokes like that.
Why? You know someone's going to make that little soft boy their lady.
That's not the point. The point is that we don't have to say that shit. Okay? We don't. So let's not.
To make your butthole hurt.
No, I don't. I'm not comfortable making anti-gay jokes.
I wasn't making an anti-gay joke.
That's technically... It could be construed that way by someone else, not me.
I say I didn't like.
That's not what I'm saying.
I thought you were just saying it was inappropriate. I didn't think you were saying it was anti-gay.
It is inappropriate, but it will get our podcast flagged.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'm thinking about the good of the. Damn it, Tom! Stop with the circumcision. We're not talking about it anymore.
Okay, so
I'm done with circumcision.
Jussie Smollett is. Let's see. Okay, and George Simon, an author and nationally known expert on narcissists and manipulators, says new research shows modern narcissists don't actually suffer from secret low self-esteem and vulnerability. The type of narcissists we're seeing in today's indulgent world are those who are truly legends in their own minds. He told the Post, they are at war with the ultimate power of the truth. They are setting their own rules, not defensively, but aggressively. They tell you what reality is and they expect you to believe it. The 6 Smollett kids were united both by their early lives as child stars in a sitcom together and by their parents' long-standing civil rights activism.
And what did he do? He pissed on it by staging a fucking hate crime.
Well, what I want to know is, okay, your kids are actors. You're all black. You're all black. How are you oppressed again?
Because they're...
Stupid.
Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't understand.
Oh, God. Okay.
No.
I'm going to say it. No, I'm going to say it. You can agree with Tom if you want. Tom, you're entitled to your opinion. My opinion is my opinion. You're not going to change it, and I'm not going to change yours. So, that's it.
I'm done talking about dicks.
We're done with the dick talk, okay? Joe, I think we're also finished with Jussie Smollett.
No, I was getting into the juicy stuff.
No, I don't want to hear any more about it. He committed a felony by staging a federal hate crime. I don't know if it's a felony or not. I don't really know.
I think that would. I think it may be a felony.
It
I
probably
don't see, I don't see how it
I
would
would
be
think
a felony.
I think it's a felony, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't really look into it a whole lot. I just think it's hilarious that he got convicted on 5 counts. He's going to do a minimum of 15 years. Probst thinks it's 1 or less.
I'm with Probst. Like
Cameraman
I think
thinks it's going to be 18.
I think he may do 5.
So,
and then he'll get back out and talk about how he was oppressed in prison as a black man by the big black man, and now black men are oppressing black men because they're bigger than other black men.
I'm sticking with 15 years. 5 with good behavior.
Like, look at it. You can't see this picture, but look at him. I mean, he's just standing there he just knows. He just thinks he's the man. It pisses me off. I wish somebody just punched him in the face.
Damn it, Tom. I think that it's not my place to say.
Okay, I'm going to hit this topic since we're on it. Okay, so genital mutilation and circumcision are 2 different things. Genital mutilation is designed to make the genitals undesirable.
That's fair, yeah.
Like, it's to make you not want to be around the genitals.
Yeah.
Frankly, the idea of foreskin makes some women turn away from a penis. Like, they do not like the idea of a man with foreskin. So I do not understand how a man that's circumcised would, like, if a woman prefers their man circumcised, I don't see how that's genital mutilation if they are more attracted to a circumcised man, because genital mutilation is designed to make you unattracted to the genitals. That's my point. No more dick talk. I ain't talking about dicks. Too many dicks on the dance floor.
Cameraman says, give me the wrench. I can end this. Cameraman, who hurt you, boo-boo?
Cameraman, I'm serious. If we ever need somebody killed,
Cameraman's the
Cameraman's
guy.
my man.
I'm calling Cameraman. And he'll probably film it because he's always behind the camera.
We're going to have to delete this episode, though.
No, Cameraman, we will not solicit you to kill anyone. I promise. We do not. Unless it is in defense of our liberty, we
Then
do
in that case,
not
just tell me who to write the
condone
check to.
violence.
Wait, no, we don't write checks. Pay cash.
We don't write checks.
Or Bitcoin.
Okay, Bitcoin's a good option. So, anywho, Tom, again, you're entitled to your opinion. I really don't care what you think of me. You can watch the show, you can not watch the show. I really don't give a shit either way. We're small right now. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I'm not going to continue to go on about fucking circumcision and genital mutilation and all of the shit that you want to try to drag me into. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. TikTok is over.
But yet he keeps dragging you into it. Okay, so cameraman, when we have him kill somebody, he only wants Bitcoin.
We're not having him kill anybody. Comrade, what is problem? Anyway.
Can I talk about aliens yet?
I think it's about that time of the night where it's time for Joe's Conspiracy Corner. Okay.
All right. The proof is out there. Analyzes the famous 1967 Bigfoot film to determine if it's real or hoax. That's all I got for Bigfoot. UFOs.
Do you have any real conspiracies?
I've got our conspiracy pulled up.
Okay.
But no, I always just pull. I gotta cover the UFOs, man, and the Bigfoot. That's just that is a must do every week kind of thing.
I was just asking because I sent you one.
I know, and it's not showing up. I just looked for it earlier, and yeah, it's gone off the messenger. See if it's still showing up on your messenger, because if it's gone, that in itself is a conspiracy.
Motherfucker.
They're covering that shit up.
So many conspiracies.
Dude, they are covering that stuff up, man.
So many conspiracies, bro.
Hold on, let me get the UFOs before I go ranting on this. By the way, I don't know if you know, but if you Google just UFO news, it brings up 3 billion, 20 million results. Damn.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
insane.
No, it's still in there.
It's not showing up on mine, though. Pilot records baffling UFO fleet over Pacific.
It's in the Liberty chat, Joe.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah.
I will go to it.
I will go to it.
Talking about Bigfoot, not dicks. No, I'm talking about UFOs now. Never mind.
Yep.
Then we're going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein after that.
Yep.
Is it after the...
It's like 3 messages up. It's just a link.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
You were so ill prepared.
Well, yeah. We had issues. Okay, so... okay, so let's see. UFO news. Okay. Set to make history on UFOs. Congress receives 1%. Receives a 1% doctrine. I don't know what that is.
I really like our new light, by the way.
I do like it too. Congress is days away from enacting historic legislation. What the heck? Got music. Okay. Congress is days away from enacting historic legislation on UFOs. As first redetailed by researcher Douglas Dean Johnson, a must-pass defense bill will force the U.S. government to mount a sweeping effort to investigate unidentified aerial phenomenon. Among a litany of groundbreaking requirements, Congress is set to mandate the establishment of rapid UFO response teams. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's a little crazy, actually. Crazy. Like, we are legitimately openly talking about UFO response teams. That's a little weird. See, that's a little weird.
That's pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie.
Hand it to me on that one. Yeah. See, yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah. Okay, set to mandate the establishment of rapid UFO response teams, initiate a scientific study of objects that exceed the known state of the art in science, technology, and require investigations of health-related effects associated with UFO encounters. Perhaps the most importantly, following 7 decades of Cold War-induced secrecy, denial and obfuscation, the 2022 National Defense Authorization Act will mandate unprecedented government transparency on UFOs. Son of a bitch.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Look, man, I'm just ready. I wish that one president would just come out and be like, guys, they are real. They are here. And we've been working with them for 50 years now. They are the reason you have an iPhone. They're the reason we have the internet. They are the reason why you have Coca-Cola. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I wish somebody would just do it. Like, one president just comes off, like, he's got this plan to, like, say, you know, American, good day, American people, blah, blah. The vaccine's this, and he just stops and just stares at the screen.
Him with the mouse.
He just freaking stops and just starts staring at the screen as it pans into his eyeballs. And he goes, they are here. Completely off script, and just tells the American people right before the CIA comes in and blows his brains out.
Advertising on...
You got a video?
Don't worry about my video.
Okay.
You continue.
Okay, so now Justin sent me this earlier in the week. It was like, what, yesterday?
This is actually about COVID, and yes.
Okay, so Harvard study shows that MRA... Is this what you sent me? I thought it was about Jeffrey Epstein.
No.
Okay, so Harvard study shows that mRNA therapeutic drugs do not slow the spread of COVID-19. But it's even worse than that. Does it have more to it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it basically goes on to talk about the fact that the whole point of the vaccine was to protect and prevent, right? So the fact that the vaccine doesn't protect or prevent, and if you Google search that Harvard study, you're not going to find it.
Really?
Really.
A Harvard study of 68 nations and that many counties in the United States published in the European Journal of Epidemiology is shattering the argument that the mRNA therapeutic drugs being marketed as vaccines do anything to significantly stop the spread of COVID. Dadgummit. Like, click anywhere on Reddit and it takes you somewhere. Like, I'm just trying to click so I can scroll down. Even worse than that, a Becker News suggested in September there is a positive correlation between the nation's vaccination levels and the case rates being reported. The scientific findings are a crushing blow to the argument that the vaccines have a public health purpose and that the vaccine mandates are justified. The Harvard researcher who co-authored the study, S.V. Subramanian of the Harvard Center for Population and Development Studies, teamed up with Canadian researcher Akhil Kumar to perform the research. Their bombshell findings, read them and weep. Are they still talking about dicks?
Tom is, yes.
I ain't talking about no more dicks, man. At the country level, there appears to be no discernible relationship between percentage of population fully vaccinated and new COVID-19 cases in the last 7 days. In fact, the trend line suggests a marginally positive association such that countries with higher percentage of population fully vaccinated have higher COVID-19 cases per 1 million people. Example, Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Israel is like almost completely vaccinated. They have like the highest, they probably have the highest vaccination rate in the world.
Yeah.
And they also have one of the highest case rates, I do believe.
Very true.
Matter of fact, I'm going to look it up just so nobody can be like, oh no, that's full of shit.
No, Israel literally has one of the highest vaccination rates in the world, and their positivity rate is skyrocketing right now. Like, that's the truth. Can we please stop fighting in the comments? Like,
wow,
shit.
we have, she's a warrior. That's one of our, that's your girl, right?
That is Brittany. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Brittany.
That hat.
The Biden hat.
Oh.
Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
That gun. Y'all shut up, man. It's conspiracy corner time.
Yeah.
This is entertainment time. We're talking about aliens and shit now. Like, this is the best part. Ask Probst. Probst loves this part. This is like
Probst loves this part. Where is Probst?
He's listening. He's probably actually listening.
Yeah, probably.
Like, this is Probst's favorite part.
Yep. All right. So, the COVID thing, it's out of hand. It's all a scam at this point. The fact that Pfizer wants four vaccination doses now. Four doses.
I think I just saw 5. No, or was it 4? It was
4.
I don't know, but it was just stupid.
It's 4. They want 4 doses to be considered fully vaccinated. They say that Omicron means you need to get another dose. Pfizer literally sponsors every media thing ever. There's a compilation that's like 10 minutes long of brought to you by Pfizer.
By the way, they had an article that just came out and said that Pfizer is effective against Omicron. How do we know? How do we know?
Nobody fucking knows.
Nobody knows
shit.
No.
Nobody knows a fucking thing anymore. And it's fucking... I'm done. I'm done with it.
Okay, so I'm not even seeing Israel on the freaking list. Like, where the hell is Israel? Probably took them off because they're probably like, oh, you know.
Probably. I mean, all the data is censored now.
Okay,
that's the problem.
Nose itches.
We're running out of time here.
Okay, so Israel. Let's see. Just Israel's all the way down here near the. Okay, so.
Come on, man.
Well, the way they have this damn page set up is stupid. 71%. It says vaccinated. 64% fully vaccinated.
Their fully vaccinated designation is 3 shots now.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. All of it. Every bit of the vaccine campaign is bullshit. It's a cash cow for Pfizer.
Answer me a question real quick. How is Cuba, Chile, and Portugal some of the top fully vaccinated countries on this list?
Because they don't have a whole lot of people. It's very easy to have high numbers when you don't have a ton of people.
I guess.
Also, a lot of European countries are mandating the vaccine for the entire population now.
Australia is 80% vaccinated.
I'm sure they are.
F Australia.
I mean, I love Australia. Australia is like the best place.
F Australia's
except
government.
for their government. Their government sucks. So, anyway.
So that's it for all that stuff. I do want to touch on
Epstein.
Epstein.
Quickly.
I don't have anything for it. Have you
Well,
heard
then
anything?
why do you want to touch on it?
Because there's stuff being censored.
Now, I did see something rather interesting before I came over here.
Okay.
And frankly, it's huge. John McCain's widow came out and said that they all knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Take that one in.
Let's see. Oh, okay. This is Washington Examiner. Yes. Cindy McCain admits we all knew about Epstein.
Yep. 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 But anyway, we can cover that next week. Because we can talk more conspiracies next week because we're really just,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for Joe's Conspiracy Corner. What in the...
Matt, you missed the Conspiracy Corner?
Okay,
We thought you were quiet because you were listening.
I'm going to address this one more fucking time.
Quit talking about dicks.
I have to talk about circumcision one more time. I'm putting somebody in timeout. I will use it. We've already said multiple times we're done talking about it. I will put you in timeout if you bring this up again. The vaccine and circumcision are not related. Babies are children who do not have a say in the choices that their parents make for them. Unless you are physically or sexually abusing your child by hitting or rape, it does not count as a violation
It'd
of the
be
NAP.
different if the church was actually mandating it or if the government was actually mandating it like
It
they
would
are with
be
the vaccine.
Completely different. That said, if circumcision is brought up one more time, whoever brings it up, you're going in timeout. I don't care if it's cameraman. I don't care if it's Tom. I don't care if it's Probst. It's not going to be talked about again. We've made our position clear. We're not going to change that. Period. End of story. Now,
Like, I just don't feel like this issue is as big of a deal as what people make it out to be. I'm actually looking forward to it this week.
It's time for Justice Financial Corner.
I'm actually looking forward.
Don't stop. Okay.
Because
I'm just hitting all the buttons now.
So, Justin, I pulled out some money from my retirement account, and I'm looking to invest.
Buy GameStop.
No. I want something that's
I
going
don't know what to
I want
tell
something
you.
that's going to make me some money short term, not long term.
There's nothing that's going to guaranteed make you money short
I'm not
term.
talking about like thousands of dollars. I'm just saying what's looking good right now. And I'm not talking about GameStop.
Literally nothing.
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 I know that we'll have like a day or two where like the market's like, oh, 600 points. And then the next day it's like 1,000 points down.
And timeout implemented. Anywho. So, in the world of stonks this week, inflation hit an entirely all-time high, 40-year high, 6.8%.
Yes.
In the month of November.
It's the highest it's been since what, the 80s?
It is the highest it's been in 40 years. So yes, the 80s. This is bad.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm ready for the market to crash.
The question
dude. Like,
that
come on.
the question that you may be asking is, if inflation is so bad, why do stonks continue to go up? And that would be because stonks only go up. That's not true. The reason that the stock market continues to go up is that, well, when the federal government pumps a ton of money into the economy, the stock is going to go up regardless of what happens. The stock market is going to continue to rise, even though it shouldn't be rising. The S&P 500 is still sitting at $470 right now. It's fucking ridiculous. It makes no fucking sense. None.
Yeah, S&P actually just broke a record, didn't they?
No.
Which one? One of them broke a record this week.
I don't know which one that is. But regardless, the stock market right now, it doesn't make any sense. Okay? Now, in terms of GameStop news, GameStop released their earnings this week. They were good. The earnings were good. Okay? What the media wanted to focus on was the EPS. So, EPS is earnings per share. The EPS looks bad. But when you look at the EPS and look at what they've been doing for the past year, it makes sense why the EPS is down. Right? So, even on their earnings call, they told you what they had been doing, and they told you the metric by which they think their stock should be judged, which is net sales, net revenue. Net revenue is up by a lot. Like $200 million a lot. They're making good moves. Yet the media wants to sit there and say, oh, no, they need to tell us what their strategy is. They need to tell their investors what their strategy is. That's why everybody's selling. When you look at the buy-sell ratios for GameStop, it's like 98% buys to 2% sells. They're short selling the shit out of it right now because they're getting away with it. Now, the interesting part is that the DOJ has gotten involved. The DOJ is now looking into abusive short selling, which is exactly what Citadel has been doing for years. Also, word on the street is that since Evergrande has finally officially defaulted, the market's about to crash. Like, legit crash. Because Citadel and other hedge funds have been using China's paper bonds as collateral in order to stay afloat. That's not going to be happening for much longer.
Moderna stock has crashed.
Has it?
According to Forbes. I would say Forbes is pretty legit.
Yeah, Forbes is pretty
Was it
legit
Moderna,
sometimes.
though, the one that their vaccine was the one that was pulled because of issues?
I mean, it's not surprising. But that's the thing. Like, so, Black Friday was a black day for the stock market. Everything crashed, right?
It was literally
then
a Black Friday.
Then it came back, right? And then most things have been pretty stable. Like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, all that stuff. It's been pretty stable. But the meme stocks have been, and I say meme stocks sarcastically, because it is definitely not a meme stock. Like, these stocks have fundamentals. Well, one stock has fundamentals. The others don't. But it's one of those things.
So, stock market crash and depression coming, warns Rich Dad. That's Market Watch. So, let's see. Stock market crash. Experts warn of 40. This is Business Insider. I would say also pretty legit.
Yep.
A 30-year market vet. Damn it. You got to pay to read it.
Yeah. Okay. So, the best part for all of this mainstream media stuff, Market Watch, you would think they're pretty reputable, right? You would think that Market Watch is a good source.
I would think so.
They used a tweet from a Reddit user about GameStop, and the Reddit user found out, so he went and changed his profile picture to a butthole, a legit butthole,
Like actual brown
like
starfish.
actual chocolate starfish, and changed his Twitter handle to Fuck Market Watch.
Did they?
And it remained in the article
Oh, nice.
because Market Watch was on some bullshit. None of these places are being honest with you. Even if, when you look at Jim Cramer is the Mad Money guy on MSNBC, and now he's trying to tell everybody what should or shouldn't have been done with vaccines. Dude, you're a stock market guy. Shut the fuck up. You're not even good at stock market. You told people to buy Bear Stearns in 2008, 7 weeks before it crashed. Like, nobody fucking trusts you. You're fucking stupid. Run along, do some more cocaine, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about shit you don't know about, okay? The whole thing is out of control. The stock market is going to because the money from the federal government is going to dry up. And that's the only thing that has kept it afloat for as long as it's been going.
And here's my opinion on it.
Is that the theory, everything that I'm seeing, when the stock market crashes, GME skyrockets.
Here's my opinion on it. I wish it would hurry the hell up.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm tired. I'm serious, man. Like World War III, stock market crash. Like it feels like we're always we're just sitting on the edge of this cliff, right?
Just fucking
like, and we're constantly just going up, nope, up, nope. Like freaking, I'm about ready to come up to the edge of the cliff and just be like, "This is Sparta." Ow!
Right. So anyway, I mean that's pretty much all I've got for Justice Financial Corner. It's been a really bad week in the stock market as far as I go, but you know.
You got this.
Well, you know. We'll keep playing this game if you want to.
So here's the thing. We really tolerate a lot of stuff, I think.
We do.
In the comment section.
Okay.
But
so
we're not going to
hold
spend
on. Justice Financial Corner is over.
Yes. We're not going to so we're not going to spend
I'm not going to
We're on air for what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
We're not going to spend the whole 2 hours talking about freaking circumcision.
We've already covered it.
We're not going to do it.
We don't want to talk about it. We've made our position clear. If you want to keep fucking coming back under different usernames, that's fine. It gives us unique viewers. I don't give a shit. You do it. You're just helping us. The fact of the matter is I'm not talking about fucking circumcision anymore. And if you keep coming in here with that bullshit, I will ban you from the fucking channel.
Like we have
every
other
time
people,
you show up.
We have other people in the comment sections that you can see disagree with us, but they still watch us because they appreciate our views on things.
You are literally just trying to get us to change our opinion on something because it's what you want. And if you want that, I suggest you go watch CNN because it ain't fucking happening here.
No, it's not. And the other guys know it's not.
Oh my God.
You fight the battles that you can fight. That's what you do. Like,
pick your fucking battles.
Yeah.
This is not the battle you're looking for because I am very strong-willed. Joe is very strong-willed.
Yeah, not happening.
We're not going to change our opinion on circumcision, and I will not talk about it again.
And we are not indoctrinated.
No.
Like, I literally, one day, I was like, you know what? Is this really something we should be doing to our children? Hey, it's Mick. We are actually people that are we are critical thinkers. We do not just go, oh, my mama said this, I'm gonna do it.
Now, on some things, yes, my mom said do this, I'm gonna do this, but
that's because it works.
That's because it works, and I know it works because I've done it.
But there are things that I've actually had that critical conversation with myself about, especially when I started having the idea of trying to have children, was, do I need to get my kids circumcised or not? Is this something I need to do?
And you know what? There's not a right or a wrong choice there, because that child is not going to remember being circumcised.
No.
Period.
And I don't know why they say it causes. There's it's always the uncertain.
Because people are fucking obsessed with their feelings.
Hold on, and it's the people that are uncircumcised that say it causes what is it? Not distress, but trauma. Like, dude, I don't even know. Like, I'm circumcised. I don't even know. I don't remember.
I have never once looked down at my dick and been like, Man, that was a traumatic experience.
Like, I don't remember it at all.
I don't remember it because you know what? I was fucking day old.
Yeah.
I was day old. Okay?
There are some people that believe
numb
that
it,
cock.
they sniff it, done.
I believe there was. I'm sure that there's somebody out there, some study somewhere that is even showing that like full cognitive function doesn't even come until you're like a year old. Like I'm talking about like actually remembering things and having your own, like, oh hey,
It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, don't come in this bitch talking about
I would say
circumcision.
year old, maybe like 3 months, but you know what I mean.
I know, but don't come in here talking about circumcision and continue to talk about it after we tell you to stop.
Like everybody else, even
if you wanna bring it up,
fine.
But if
once
we
we're
tell
done,
you to
we're done.
Stop. Period. That's
Just
it.
like
End of
some,
discussion.
Some of the other guys will let conversations roll, and they roll for a little bit, but they're all our other guys that are our usuals in here. They're pretty respectful of each other.
Yeah.
Like cameraman, even though cameraman, I'm pretty sure is a psychopath,
but
he is still respectful.
we love cameraman.
He is still respectful of people's opinions.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, but even he was getting fed up with it.
Yeah, well, and Probst just kind of like just went. He was like, I'm not doing this no more. He just quit
Probst
talking.
was just like,
he hung the phone up. He was like, nope.
And I can't hang the phone up because I am on the microphone.
Right. And Probst, Probst disagrees with us on that subject, but Probst understands why we feel the way we do.
If you continue to push me on a subject, I will push back. Period.
Right.
You're not going to change my opinion. I'm not indoctrinated.
No, we've actually reflected on this in our life.
I don't fucking care if you circumcise your kid or not. I don't care. It does not impact me. It does not affect the child.
No.
Period. Show me one credible study that can point to circumcision being the epicenter of all the kids' problems.
And we know Matt. Like
We
Matt
know
says,
Matt,
I know when to leave it alone. I know. That's why we respect you. You respect us. It's all good.
But I'm not doing it. Okay? I'm not. No more. You're not the first person that I've put in timeout. You ain't gonna be the last.
It actually hurt me to put him in timeout, to be honest with you, because he is a libertarian, and it hurt me to do that. But
it didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt my feelings not one fucking bit. You know why? Because I told him I was done, and he wanted to come and attack my character because I was done.
You got to admit, we got to hand it to him. He's been patient.
Cameraman has been very patient. So let's go see what this is about.
No. We got them all. We've got them all. They're all there.
He has been patient. We are like going over because of the fucking circumcision talk.
Yeah. Not our fault.
It's fucking bullshit. I'm pissed off now. Like, I'm super pissed about this. Because I didn't want to talk about fucking baby dicks no more.
So,
okay?
cameraman, which one would you suggest us do? Because I don't know if we can go over every video. Because we have run over already, just because people won't quit talking about dicks.
Including us at this point. Oh, holy shit. Well, we're not going to do the one with the frog.
The longer one first?
I can't tell which one's long.
It don't give us a timestamp, man. You got Zera's, IAK Team, and Mental Outlaw.
Let's do the proof of concept. The RCE proof of concept.
Okay. You want to throw it up there and I'll...
Or we can do the... You'll have to get out of full screen there.
Get the cat out of the way.
Yep.
Never gets old.
You know what? We'll do this Rickroll one.
Okay. Let me know when to refresh it.
Hold on. Alright, refresh it.
Mental Outlaw, you said, would be probably the best one.
Well, we're doing Zera.
Okay. We got cameraman to give us some backstory. Is this the one on the very bottom? Yeah, I think. Is it? I can't tell. I'm blind. This possum getting circumcised.
It's at the very bottom.
You what I said?
I did. I put Skeptic in timeout again because he came back.
How did he come back?
I don't know.
What is going on? Oh no, this is a short video.
Well,
I cannot tell what's going on.
holy shit. Okay, so we'll have to do another one because that was looking.
Cameraman, did you rickroll us? Is that
I
on
mean, he
purpose?
did literally just rickroll us. What did he say? The mental outlaw one? That's the one that's got Pepe the Frog on it.
Man, just do it.
Motherfucker. Fucking white nationalists.
White nationalists. I have no idea what's going on here.
They claim that Pepe the Frog is a symbol of white nationalism.
Why? It's a frog.
Exactly. It's 4chan trolls, man. It's in there now.
This mouse. I'm about to throw it.
Well, you need a new mouse.
No, it's just...
Or a new battery. Very bottom.
Earlier today, a zero-day vulnerability in a very popular Java logging library called Log4j was discovered that allows for remote code execution by passing a certain kind of string to the logger. Now let me give you an idea of just how widespread this bug is and just how easy it is to exploit. For one, Log4j is a Java library, and Java is a widely used programming language, especially in the enterprise space. I think we've all seen that message anytime we've had to install or update Java for an application to run, that 3 billion devices run Java. Phones, computers, routers, servers, maybe even your toaster runs Java. So there's likely tens or even hundreds of millions of devices out there.
No, have you not heard about the smart toasters?
Wait, it's all Java? Always has been.
You not heard about the smart toasters?
Oh, I have.
Yeah, there's computers, there's
I
Wi-Fi
know.
toasters.
It's
now.
fucking ridiculous. I can't stand it. I hate society.
The idea is that one day all of your household items can talk to each other. That way.
Do you want Skynet? Because that's how you fucking get Skynet.
Yeah.
Continue with the video. I don't want to talk about smart toasters. We got to wrap this shit up, bro.
This logging software. It's baked into all kinds of commonly used services like Steam, Spotify, and iCloud. Devices running those could be vulnerable to this. But screw hacking normies or the servers that are running their streaming services. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, Cloudflare, and Amazon, which together make up a major backbone of the entire internet, all could be vulnerable to this zero-day that allows for remote code execution. And RCE is a serious thing. It usually doesn't take much more for somebody to then gain full control over the server that is running that software. Anything that is running Apache struts, an Elk stack, or even standalone Java apps could be vulnerable. In fact, this is where the vulnerability was first discovered in a popular Java app, Minecraft. For a few hours, this was just seen as a Minecraft hack and hadn't made its way into the InfoSec world, where it created a gigantic dumpster fire. And all you have to do to exploit this, in Minecraft specifically, is pass a string like this to the console or even the chat, which then gets passed to the logger, and boom, it gives you remote code execution.
Oh, goodness.
When advertising on YouTube, I know that making
I fucking hate ads.
an authentic video with a clear call to action is the key to getting.
Too. Hey, skip ad things there.
I can't. There it is. My mouse.
My mouse.
Can't see
Your
it.
batteries are dying.
No, I think it's out of range.
No, it's never been a problem before. Your batteries are dying.
Good idea to make a logger that resolves LDAP addresses or that evaluates and then tries to execute arbitrary text, but it does. That's a feature of Log4j. Well, not all versions of Log4j. Thankfully, some versions don't actually load remote code using LDAP by default, but they are still vulnerable to slightly more complex forms of remote code execution. But for the ones that are using LDAP, this exploit requires no skill at all to execute. You saw how easy it was to do it in Minecraft. This is something that I would imagine for a few hours when this was first discovered, there were probably a bunch of little kids that were wrecking one another's Minecraft servers with this. No skill at all, anybody could do it. So anywhere that a Java app or an online service that's running this logger on its backend exists, anywhere that a user can input a string like this, that could be an attack vector for this vulnerability. This is, I can't even really think of something recently that's been this bad. This is maybe like Shellshock or the Spectre vulnerability. There's tons of scanning that is going on right now on the internet to find services that are using this and exploit them.
I'm gonna pause it real quick just to ask Cameraman a question. So Cameraman, I believe you mentioned something earlier about how pretty much the only way to fix this would be with hardware. Like, we can't even update the software to combat this. Like, it's kind of.
I'm sure there's a workaround.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure there is.
But I'm pausing it so I can ask him this question and you have time to answer. Like, is it only like are they saying is what I'm asking? Are they? I'm not saying whether it is or not. Are they saying the only way to fix this is with a hardware update? I'm gonna give you time. I'm gonna keep playing.
Yep.
All around the world, people are scrambling to try and fix this before a hacker with an anime profile picture finds a way to take over Amazon's automation system or leak blueprints for some kind of top secret fighter jet or launches a freaking missile. And this is also something that a lot of standard security systems that corporations and enterprises might be using. It's not even something that it'll...
So Cameraman says, no. So hardware chips with unchangeable software can't be updated. You'd have to use new chips with new software, which means new hardware. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only way to fix this is new hardware. Did I say software? I meant to say, like, the only way to fix this is new hardware.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get a software update for this. You got to get the hardware with the built-in software to fix this, because everything's got to be completely recoded.
Interesting.
Because if they keep using this code, then they can use that to crash everything. And usually, and I'm assuming what a 0 day is that they crash everything with it. Like, just shut everything down. Everything that uses Java, they can just lights out.
Yep.
So this is a pretty big deal. Like, cameraman's onto something. It's a pretty big deal.
This should have been in Joe's Conspiracy Corner.
But it's not really a conspiracy.
It's really not.
It's actually happening.
Yeah. So let's continue this because we need to
necessarily stop because of the way that this vulnerability occurs. It's exploiting a logging functionality. That, for one, is such a widespread feature in the enterprise space, especially using a very detailed logging function like what Log4j provides. And when data is coming into your server to be logged, there usually isn't a lot of security checks that occur at that point. Generally, you're just going to be logging whatever is going on, and probably you don't really think about the logging details of an event being written to your logging system as an attack vector. You know, I actually just remembered an attack that happened relatively recently, I mean a few years ago, that this is probably going to be comparable to. I think we could compare this to the Struts 2 vulnerability. That was discovered back in 2017. And the really scary thing about Struts 2 is that it only took about 48 hours after the discovery of that bug and how to exploit it for companies that hadn't patched their services within that time frame to start getting hacked. One of the results of that vulnerability was a huge data breach, the Equifax data breach, which resulted in the personal info of 147 million people being exposed. And this wasn't even just Americans. This was Canadians, people in the UK, people from all over the world's personal details were in that Equifax data breach. And I think that the damage caused by this vulnerability could actually end up being further reaching for a number of reasons. So if the timeline is going to be similar, if it takes just 48 hours, like in the Struts 2 vulnerability, for this to go from kids that are hacking each other's Minecraft servers to Fortune 500 companies getting hacked and having critical information, personal information of their companies, or of their customers rather, leaked onto the internet. If the timeline of this is similar, that means that there is going to have to be a lot of incident response people working very late into the night tonight on a Friday, and for some of them it's already Saturday, and they're also going to have to work over the weekend to try and secure their servers and their services against this. When you combine that with the fact that it's the middle of December, so there are a lot of people that have already gone on vacation. Like I know at my job, which thankfully our services aren't vulnerable to this, but we're kind of on a skeleton crew right now. A lot of people have already taken time off for Christmas. And also in the United States, there is a labor shortage right now. So a lot of these places could already be short-staffed and with backfill. I know at my job we've had backfill for a couple of quarters now, so like 6 months. And the timeline to properly patch a vulnerability like this happening right now could be a little bit longer than what we've seen in the past. And when it takes 48 hours to go from...
I just thought of something. Dark Winter.
Yep.
Think about that? Dark Winter.
Yep. Been mentioned many times by many political figures. Yep, we talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yep. It's all adding
Cameraman?
up.
Cameraman? You were on something here, man. You were on something.
Anyway, I think we've pretty much covered the meat of
So
this.
basically, end of the day, what this is, it's not a virus.
Cameraman said, did you say Dark Winter?
At the end of the day,
Oh,
put it on full
God.
screen, man. At the end of the day, this is not a virus. This is worse than a virus if you really think about it, because it's a flaw in the infrastructure, this code infrastructure.
Yep.
That's worse, I'd say, than a virus.
Could be.
Because the only way to fix it, like you said, is to replace hardware. You know how long? That's going to take a long time.
Well, I mean, even the video said that they could implement a code workaround.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That may be a Band-Aid, though. They could probably
Could
find
be,
a patch
yeah.
in it, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. So, I don't know. Cameraman, thanks for the interesting topic.
That is definitely interesting.
You always bring it.
We got
That's why
Russia. We
that's
got
why
the
we love you.
whole Russia thing going on. We got this going on. Dark Winter being talked about. You know what?
Even Skeptic came back with something that was actually pretty good. Bryce Young awarded the Heisman at Alabama back-to-back winners.
I don't care about that.
I mean, I care about that because I'm a Bama fan, but you know, obviously, freedom things takes precedence over football. So
I'm going to Google something real quick.
what are you going to Google? Because
Operation
I'm literally
Dark Winter. I just want to see.
Oh God.
Son of a bitch.
What?
Bro.
No. Cliffhanger. That's for next week's
No!
Conspiracy Corner.
God, no, I can't do it.
It's a
I can't
cliffhanger.
even- No,
It's a
I
cliffhanger.
can't even
They'll
do it.
come back.
I can't do it.
They'll come back.
No, I can't do it. Hold on. Operation Dark Winter. This is from Wikipedia now.
Joe, for real, it's 11 o'clock.
Okay,
Let's wrap
well,
this up.
Okay, I'm just going to read what it is and we'll talk about it next week. How about that?
Okay, fine.
Operation Dark Winter was the code name for a senior-level bioterrorist attack simulation conducted on June 22nd to 23rd, 2001. It was designed...
Oh, that was the lead up to September 11th. Yeah, we've already discussed
It was
this.
designed to carry out a mock version of a covert and widespread smallpox attack on the United States.
Yep. And what's recently come back to light?
Dark Winter.
Smallpox.
Oh, yeah, that too. And we're being told it's a Dark Winter. I'm Joe.
I'm Justin.
Tally ho, lads.
Hey guys, damn it! Why is it still playing? Because I forgot. To recap, next week show's on Friday.
Not Saturday.
Not Saturday. I have plans for Saturday night.
It will be the last one of the year.
And it will be the last episode of the year.
It'll be more relayed.
It will be a banger. We're gonna have a banger.
Yes.
And we'll go for as long as we need to go.
Yes.
So, I'm
It's
Justin.
probably more closer to the Rittenhouse thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
Tally ho, lads.